This is Jordan Pollock reporting for Boxing Social in association with Betfred, and I'm delighted to be joined by the father of the WBC, the Ring Magazine, the lineal heavyweight champion of the world, Mr. John Fury. How are you, John?
Very well, sir. Hope you're the same.
Very well. Thank you for asking. It's great to see you today, so thank you for making time for us.
No problem. Pleasure.
So first thing I want to know, John, this close to fight night, how are you feeling?
Excited. I don't do nerves. Too long in the tooth and too experienced. You know, I've seen too many boxing matches, but excited is on another level, you know, because I just want to see what Tyson has been working on, and I want to see him put it in place. And I think this is going to be one of his best performances, to be honest with you.
Now, you're a fighting man, John, and you come from a long line of fighting men. And you said
I was a fighting man 25 years ago, getting a bit long in the tooth now.
You said there you don't do nerves. Just what was it like for you for the first time Tyson stepped into the ring and how you felt compared to now he's on the biggest stage that you could possibly be on?
Again, from the off, it was always excitement more than nerves for me, you know, because I've always believed in my son's ability from the first time I ever watched him in a boxing ring, you know, and I know how good Tyson is, you know, and it's exciting for me knowing how he can perform, you know, and when Tyson's on form, it really is something else, you know, and that's what excites me, because you never know what else is coming, what performance is coming, because he just does his own thing in the ring anyway, so with a game plan in place. But you know what, Tyson's Tyson, he'll do his own thing anyway, and that's what makes it exciting.
And Tyson, he really oozes confidence, especially at the press conference the other day. Do you think he goes in with the same utmost confidence that you're talking about, you feel, before the fight?
Yes, and more. Yes, and more. You know, he's a very confident man. He knows how good he is, and he strives to be better, you know, and he likes competition. Even though I don't think he looks at Deontay Wilder as much competition, he's still very focused, and he just wants to improve on the last performance. You know, he beat him good last time, but I think he wants to do better this time. You know, it's in Tyson's mind's eye, he's thinking, it's not how I beat you, I know I can beat you. I just want to do better this time.
And I was just going to say, so we've seen Tyson over the years entertain fight fans and build the interest and excitement around his fights. He's a magician on the microphone, and we saw that again the other night. Do you take anything from Tyson kind of goading a response from Deontay Wilder? Obviously, Shelley Finkel came in to speak to Wilder halfway through the press conference. What did you make of that whole situation?
Tyson is Tyson, you know, that's what he does, that's how he rolls, that's him, you know, and he likes to break a man down mentally as well as physically. I think he's achieved that already, you know, because when a man can't look you in the eye, it's a sign of surrender to me. That, you know, they wouldn't have a face-off, you know, and I know there was no security there, and the face-off, I've since learned from Bob Arum, was never intended, but Tyson would still face off, whether it was 20 security guards or none. You know, because he is a confident guy, and you only get to levels in life as to where Tyson is through being confident. You know, it's no good having bags of ability and no confidence, because you won't do any good. You'll fall at the last fence. And you know something, he's got bags of everything, Tyson. He's got heart, intelligence, desire, massive engine, undying will to win. You know, and I do believe that if no other fighter can match them attributes, they're not going to beat Tyson Fury, because this man's got everything. He's got mental strength, like you wouldn't believe. He's got ability, you know, and he's got an engine. I know he can go in a dogfight for 12 rounds. I've been watching the sparring. I've been more than impressed. He's powering up more and more every time I watch him spar, you know, and I think if Deontay Wilder knew it was coming his way, he'd think twice, because I'm telling him, hell's coming to breakfast for Deontay Wilder Saturday night. You know, and watch on BT Sport box office. It's going to be a spectacular evening.
You mentioned
violent mindset, a bit more violent than we expect, because I know what mindset Tyson's in, what Wilder's been saying about him, discrediting what he's doing, defamation of character, saying he's a cheater, he's this, that, and the other. So Tyson's going to make him pay for all that. And I can see that in the press conferences, the way Tyson's talking to him. Tyson has got zero respect for him or his team. I can tell Tyson's attitude. He's my son, I know him inside out. And Tyson doesn't value him. But like we say, be cautious of the power, but, you know, take his aim away. What's he got? I'll tell you, he's got nothing.
No, we've seen Tyson at the beginning when we first did the original face-off with Deontay Wilder in Belfast. We saw Tyson kind of having a laugh with Deontay Wilder. We've seen it with Tom Schwartz. We've seen it throughout Tyson's career, having a good relationship with his fighters, his opponents, before he fights them.
Yeah.
As you said there does seem to be, and that animosity that's arisen from Deontay Wilder's post-fight accusations. Do you feel like this is the first time Tyson's going into a fight with real animosity towards his opponent?
I would say yes, it is. But let's not get carried away here. He's a very intelligent guy. He's a smart guy, Tyson. He knows not to let his emotions getting away with his ability and his job to do, you know. But yeah, he's got one thing in his mind, making him pay for what he said. He's going to do it professionally. And when I say that, I don't say about the boxing match. When I say professionally, mentally professionally, execute the game plan, make him pay, you know. And you know what? The greatest victory of all is getting the victory and humiliating these people and stopping them. And that just puts everything in a nutshell where they are. What they've been saying is excuse making. He's the only man I know of 50 different excuses, and not one of them makes any sense. It's all bizarre stuff. But, you know, he's been allowed to get away with it. I said it before. If he'd said it about me, I'd have had him in a court case. But that's not Tyson. He just wants to beat him up now, Tyson, for what he's been saying. But he'll do it cleverly and intelligently because he's that way. And he's a very, very intelligent guy. He's a smart guy, Tyson. He's not going to let his emotions get in the way of his ability and his job to do.
And going into the third and final fight, do you have a prediction of how you think the fight's going to end?
I just think Wilder might come out the blocks pretty quick. I think he's only got 3 rounds in him. He's going to come out wild as of his namesake. But if he does that, he's playing into Tyson's hands. If he tries to work Tyson's body, he's in trouble. There's no way in the world Deontay Wilder can beat my son unless he gets a lucky punch. And that's all it is going to be, a lucky punch. But how I see the fight going, Tyson's just going to take him into a dogfight, take him in a place he's never been before, and give him some severe pain, up close and personal. You know, and I tell you what's not going to be a pretty sight. It'll be a dogfight. I don't see it being much of a boxing match. Wilder might try and make it that way, but Tyson won't allow him to do that. Tyson wants to take him into a dogfight and smash him to pieces, basically.
Now, John, just moving away slightly from tomorrow night's action. Yesterday, I know you're not really on social media, John, although I do believe you have a new iPhone as of recently. But your son Tommy and Jake Paul were exchanging social media messages, and it concluded with Tommy saying, "Send me the contract." What do you know about that fight, and do you think it's going to happen?
Absolutely. You know, we're in talks now. We've nearly got things sorted. You know, there's a few I's to dot and T's to cross, but we're getting there. You know, and I do believe this fight will take place. And like Tyson said, if you can't beat Jake Paul, I'll retire him from boxing there and then, and he will have to change his name to Tommy Fumbles, what they call him. Plus Tyson, Shane, and you will batter him as well. So no pressure. You know, yeah, going back to it seriously, Jake Paul will be happening, I'm sure.
And do you think that fight
we want the fight more than ever? It's these people, you know, they're just dragging reels out. They're being greedy a little bit, you know. So, you know, we're sticking to our guns. We know what we're worth. They'll either pay the price or we'll just move on. You know, they know what we've asked. It's fair. It's reasonable. So get on. Let's get it sorted out. The sooner they do it, the sooner we can get into camp and get the fight organised and get a date on. But yeah, we want the fight. It's not us, it's them.
Is it a fight that you'd be looking at for 2022?
Not really, no. No, we'd like this before Christmas. Yeah.
And would it take place in the States?
I think so, because it's all about Jake Paul, isn't it? You know, because of you know, his Instagram following. He's got a big following where he's at, and be honest with you, the big money's in America. You know, so I think more than likely we'll be in America, yeah.
And just finally, John, obviously we've had previous conversations about exhibition bouts. I know they've never really taken your fancy. You said if you were ever going to step foot in the ring again, it would be for a proper fight. Yeah. A certain Mr. David Haye called out your son recently, and I saw your video, your response. Is that something you could ever see happening?
No, because number one, he's done nothing to earn a crack at the world title, as it is. People Dillian White to be one of them, waiting 5 years for a shot. Who's David Haye to jump in front of him? And others like him. There's people work like Blackpool donkeys for a shot at the world title, and there's 5 or 6 of them out there, who's more entitled than David Haye, who's had a belly dance for somebody else, really, for 8 rounds, you know what I'm saying, him and his pal. But I understand fighting like he does. But listen, if you talk rubbish, expect it back. And that's what I've done to him, And would I fight David Haye? In a heartbeat? Yes.
And you'd be confident you'd win?
Whether it lasted 30 seconds or 10 rounds, I don't care. But there's one thing about a Fury. He's on the front foot and he'll go down swinging. And I think David Haye's shot to pieces. I don't think he's got a fight in him. That's the truth. I do not. He lives the high life. He gets to bed at 5 o'clock in the morning. Razzmatazz lifestyle. Goosed. One word. But not knock his achievements. 2-time world cruiserweight champion. World heavyweight champion. Admittedly, he won it off a circus act. We know that. But he's still a world champion. Credit him for that. But I've learned a lot in my life. And I would bring street fighting into a fight with David Haye. And that's what I do. I'd get rough with him. I'd use what I have and he'd have to use what he had. But I just think, while my strength lasted, and it will last, because I can inspire with my own sons, world champions, men 25 stone, 20 stone, and know how to fight, and young men in the 20s, and I can hold my own with them. So why would I be worried about David Haye? And looks are deceiving. We're all fat us, mate, but there's one thing that's not fat is the art inside of us now, desire to fight, And if he beat me, good luck to him. Shake his hand, make no excuses. But I'll tell you what, I'd give him hell, mate. Never mind my son. My son had hit him once and put him in the intensive care unit. But me, I'm 56. Who knows what I've got in me? But I'm a rough, tough cookie when it comes down to it. So if he wants to fight me, no problem. I respect him, yes I do. He's not a bad guy. He's trying to make a living like everybody else. So am I. I like to earn my own money. I don't leech off my sons. I don't take $10 off none of them. But if I can make my own money through getting punched in the face, I've been punched in the face 10 million times in my life. David Haye's no exception to me. I fear no man. With boxing gloves on or without. If it makes sense and there's money there to be made, John Fury will fight. Look at me. 19 and a half, 20 stone solid. Train every day, run 25 miles a week. I do the bag, the weights, I do everything. Eat right, sleep right. Got nothing better to do. And I've got all the time in the world to think about people like David Haye. Let's just see. Let's see what he replies to.
Well, John, I'm conscious that we're taking up some of your time. I really do appreciate it.
No, you're not. I've got all the time in the world, mate. It's one thing I've got, time. And I'm using it wisely, talking to you good people. But listen, you can get all this on BT Sport box office. Don't miss it. Because it's going to be something else Saturday night. If you miss it, you're a fool. God bless.
John, thank you very much. We'll be tuning in. And good luck with the podcast tomorrow. And good luck.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Nice talking to you, Jordan. Bye-bye.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.